How much money can you make investing £100 in just 1 year? Well, I've got a few asset classes here up above, and we're going to just have a look into which one's the best investment, which one we can get the highest returns, because obviously that's all what we want, isn't it? Maximise our money. So starting off, obviously we do have S&P 500. Yeah, 100 quid, get 107 back. These are all basically based on 2.5% inflation, so I'm taking that off each investment. So this is adjusted for inflation, all these returns. And as I said, S&P 500, 7% return adjusted for inflation. So your 100 quid will go to £107 by the end of the year. Great investment. It's not too risky, you know. Sometimes in recessions and that, you see stocks and they go drastically down, and you don't really want that. So that's a good one there because it's stable. Margin investing. Now this is where you're going to actually double up your money within your broker. Now obviously some brokers don't allow this, some do. So you've got to pick one that does to do this one. But £100, you can then leverage it up to £200. And then you can invest with £200. As I said, a little bit more risky. Now, I would only think about doing this one if we're going into an expansion phase, for instance, economically. So that's the only reason why I picked margin investing. So I'll risk a bit more money if I think economically wise stocks and that will go up. So I'll do that. But yeah, you leverage up your £100 to £200, and then you invest in the S&P 500 again. Great investment, and for that case, 7% on £200, boom, you get your 214 quid. So another classic investment there. Paying debt. Now people overlook this one for some reason. This involves paying like credit card debt, loan debt, any type of debt really. And yeah, as I said, it's overlooked because people don't think they're actually getting a return on the debt, are they? They're just paying off debt, but technically speaking, they owe that money, and the interest on that debt can be very high indeed. So if you're paying off the debt, then technically you're earning the interest on the debt. So if I have a £5 now, and the debt, say, is 24% a year, and I pay off the 5 quid, then I've earned 24% on my £5, haven't I? Because at the end of the year, that £5 would have increased by 24%, because that's the interest rate on the debt. Do you try to get what I'm saying now? So yeah, paying debt, a good option there, overlooked, but yeah, nice little asset to have with your 100 quid if you are in debt. Obviously, if you're not in debt, then don't pick that one. Well, you can't pick that one. Lending peer-to-peer. Now, this is just where, say, like, I go to a website, right? There's a site online, and it's lending peer-to-peer. So I will lend to another member that's looking for a loan. So it's just ordinary people, and I can become a lender, and someone else can go on that same site to become a borrower. So they can borrow money off another person like me. So yeah, they asked to do lending P2P, and you can expect about 2 to 6%. It obviously depends on what site you're using. And yeah, it's a decent little investment. As I said, it just diversifies your portfolio even more, doesn't it? Lending P2P, yeah, it's a good one. Right, next one, bonds. Now, if we stick £100 in bonds, look at that. Well, whoops, yeah, I know that black splodge, that wasn't... Anyway, 99 quid. So you're actually losing money in bonds. Well, how can we lose money? Well, as I said earlier, 2.5% inflation. So we've got to take that into account. Basically, we've got 1.5% on the bond. Yeah, that's the interest paid on the bond. So if we put our money in, the £100, we'll receive 1.5% at the end of the year. But obviously, we know inflation average is 2.5%. So on average, you're going to be ending up losing 1% every year. So we go down to £99 at the end of the year. Big mistake. I wouldn't say investing in bonds is a great way of making money. Well, you're not making it, you're losing money. So don't do that one. Dividends. 100 quid, boom, it gets you to £101. Now, dividends are just when you own a stock, and the stock pays their shareholders just a small amount. So yeah, they'll pay their shareholders as like a little thank you for investing in their company. Well, investing in their stock anyway. They'll pay about 3.5%. Obviously, with the 2.5% off, that will leave you with, from £100 at the end of the year, you have £101. But of course, the stock can go up as well. So if the stock goes up 5% and you've earned 3.5% in dividends, then that actually dramatically affects that. So it depends on the stock, because obviously the stock could go down. But I'm just going on the dividend amount, which on average is 3.5%. So next up, bank account. Now, bank account, ridiculous. I don't know why people even use a bank account. Well, obviously I get it, the bills and stuff. But look at that, 100 quid, you go down to £97.50. because obviously inflation, 2.5%. So we're losing £2.50 every year if we just leave our money in a bank account. Do you know how ridiculous that is? And yet everyone does it. 90% of the population leave their money in a bank account. And I'm like, well, what are you doing? At least put your money in an asset. At least put your money in something that's actually going to earn, you know? Don't just stick in a bank account, because you're just losing money every year. And not a lot of people understand that, because you don't physically lose the money, do you? You stick in £100 today, in a year's time there's still going to be £100. But as I said, inflation, the so-called invisible tax, destroys your wealth and stuff. Boom. You actually lose £2.50. So that ain't great, bank accounts. Don't use them. Lifetime ISA, £100. Oh, we got up to 123 quid. Well, actually £122.50. Because obviously inflation is 2.5% on average, and we get 25% from the government in our lifetime ISA. So we'll go up to £122.50. That says 123. I don't know. I've forgotten that. But anyway, £122.50. Solid investment. You know, we can also we can stick £100 in lifetime ISA. Then we can get £122.50. Then we can also invest that in the S&P 500. So now you can sort of see, by mixing some of these assets all together, we can really maximise our earnings for the year, can't we? We can really maximise our returns. And look at that, it's so much better than the bank account. We're still on £97.50, so don't use a bank account. Next one, SIP. Self-invested personal pension. As I said, you get 20% from the government. So if you put 40k in, I think the max is 40,000, you can get 20% from the government. So if you stick in your 100 quid, 20% gets you 120. Inflation, 2.5%. So that gets you back down to 2.5% of 100. So it's minus £2.50. So we go £117.50. That should be, not £118. So £117.50 you'd get after investing in your SIP. Solid investment, as I said. And as again, you can go in your SIP and then invest in the S&P 500, similar to the lifetime ISA. And it's free money, isn't it, by the government? So another good investment there. I'd advise a SIP. Savings account. Now this is what really gets to me, because they say to the random public, oh look, savings account. Let's save our money in the savings account. Yeah, but you don't save, do you? You lose money still. Look at that. You only earn 1 more p than a flipping bank account. And they're not going to tell you that, are they? And it's just rubbish. You earn 1 more p than the bank. And in the end, you still lose £2.49 because of inflation, which obviously they don't tell you about. They're not going to tell you about it. So, savings account, rubbish. Bank account, rubbish. Bonds, where is it? Sort of rubbish. The best ones are S&P 500. Look, solid returns. Yeah. Margin investing. Actually, no, that's risky. I wouldn't say that's the best one. Lifetime ISA, again, nice returns. SIP, solid returns. But I would say the very best on this list, the very, if you want to go for the tip top one, which obviously you should be going for, lifetime ISA S&P 500, isn't it? If we end up with 123 quid there, then we can stick in the S&P 500. If you're feeling a little bit risky, a little bit gambly, then you can always try the margin investing. But as I said, just be careful with that one, because look, risky. You know, I've risked it there for a reason. Yeah, I'd say that's about it, you know. So I hope you enjoyed that one. That's what you can do with your 100 quid. They're all the assets. They're all your returns. Pick from your bunch there. You got a nice lot there. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one, people. Next one's probably going to be £1,000. And you'll start to see the more money we get up, the different options there are. This was similar to the pound one I done a couple of days ago. If you haven't watched that, go watch that one. So I've done a £1, £100 one, and next £1,000. So there's a little step up, and then you'll see. Hopefully, we'll have some more assets on the list. I've got to do my research to see more. Could potentially be some more assets and better returns available the more money we have. So there we are. Anyway, see you in the next one, people. Subscribe, obviously.